Welcome!
Hello,
I'm Lewis Moon.
and I'm Daddy Cool.
Woo!
Welcome to
Doctor Who at Team and Space.
Cameron Space.
Or Sean
Cameron
Connery.
Space. What have we got on the show today, Lewis Moon?
Well, we have got our main feature, which is Doctor Who, My Opinion.
Excellent. We'll also be last time's randomizer popped up with Daleks, so we viewed that only a short while ago, and we'll be talking a little bit about that particular episode.
We'll have a quiz or question, and it's going to be the first of our Series 8 and Last Christmas specials, because we never got round to them last time.
Okay. We'll also have a little bit of news and views.
And Hughes.
There will be. So, should we take it away?
Yes. So first up, today throughout the show, we'll be concluding our investigation into the best of 2014.
Fantastic.
So first up, what was your favourite writer of Series 8 and of 2014? Was it Stephen Moffat, Deep Breath, Listen, Dark Water, Death in Heaven, Last Christmas, co-write Into the Dalek, Time Heist and The Caretaker, or Phil Ford, Into the Dalek co-write, Mark Gatiss, Robot of Sherwood, Steve Thompson, Time Heist co-write, Gareth Roberts, The Caretaker co-write, Peter Harness, Kill the Moon, Jamie Matheson, Mummy on the Orient Express and Flatline, or Frank Cottrell Boyce in The Forest of the Night.
I think there are some really great writers in this series.
Yeah.
But I
Jamie
think,
Matheson, Gareth Roberts.
Yeah, I think in particular, actually, Jamie Matheson's stories I think were fantastic. But I've still got to give it to the Moff.
You can't beat the Moff Master.
No, I mean actually, it's quite phenomenal, really, when you go back over the last few series and pick out the best stories. The majority of them are written by him, aren't they?
Yeah.
When he, we talk about, well, there's a lot of people that necessarily, don't like the direction he's taken the series in, or certainly there's a fairly vocal minority. But you can't knock the stories he's come up with, I don't think. And I think the show will be a lot worse off when he eventually decides he wants to move on to other things.
Yeah. Should I read the comments?
Yep.
I guess nobody is going to vote for Frank Cottrell Boyce. Someone says, Series 1, Stephen Moffat. Series 2, hard. I'm not really a fan of this series. I didn't like most of the stories, so I would say Tom McRae. Paul Cornell and Steve Moffat for Series 3. Stephen Moffat and Russell T Davies for Series 4. 5, Stephen Moffat. 6, Stephen Moffat and Neil Gaiman. 7, Stephen Moffat. And 8, they said Jamie Matheson. To my mind, Series 8 was one of almost the first series since Reboot where Moffat didn't turn out to be the best writer. His last episode I really enjoyed was The Name of the Doctor. The following episodes varied from pretty decent, Dark Water, to just plain silly, cheesy and predictable, Last Christmas. He said the Last Christmas, but he's not counting Day of the Doctor.
No.
You can't say that.
I think it's interesting as well, actually, because I wouldn't say that Last Christmas was predictable.
No.
At all.
Moffat had some wonderfully... I didn't know that they were going to wake up and it was going to be another dream.
No, indeed. Yeah.
Moffat had some wonderfully well-made episodes. Listen, Dark Water, Death in Heaven and Last Christmas. He's at the top of his game now. I'd say this is an extremely straightforward vote if we removed Moffat from the equation. I didn't vote for him. I believe the showrunner belongs in his own category.
Yeah, I think that's probably right, actually, because I think, like you said, he goes back over these series and he's the best writer. I think there's no doubt in that, really. I think Matheson is the writer that I've most seen in recent times. I thought, wow, when Moffat eventually hangs up his boots, he's the one I'd like to see take over.
I've got an interesting piece of news which I did not tell you the other day
Mhm.
for Series 9.
Are you going to be
And
in it?
Hetty MacDonald will be directing at least one episode of Series 9, and it is the director of Blink. The director of Blink is back this series.
The director of Blink is back.
According
Excellent.
to his the online CV.
I wonder if we will, in a few years' time, be that whatever that episode may be called. For the purpose of this discussion, we should call it Blink 2. I wonder if we will be one day saying, "Why is Blink 2 such a global phenomenon?"
Yes.
You never know.
Why is Blink 2 such a global?
What else do we know about that? Anything much or not really?
Well, MacDonald previously worked on Doctor Who in the 2007.
Okay.
Her more recent TV work includes The Tunnel of and Fortune.
Okay, excellent. Oh, we'll look forward for that then. Do we know much about? What do we know about season 9 so far? Series 9.
Well, we know that it's going to air in autumn. We know they started filming on January the 5th. We know that Catherine Tregenna, Stephen Moffat, and maybe Mark Gatiss are writing a story.
Okay.
Directing Daniel O'Hara, Hetty MacDonald, and I don't think we know anymore.
There's still rumour, isn't there, about Peter Jackson?
Yeah, Peter Jackson. That's just a rumour.
Mm-hmm. So who knows? That would be interesting to see, actually.
We've got Paul Kay in it.
Yeah.
We've got loads more people as well.
Sounds good.
Do you think Shauna will come back, like lots of people want?
I think she will, yes. I don't think she'll be a companion as such.
No.
But I think she will come back, even if it's just one story.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that links back to Last Christmas.
Yeah. Maybe this year's Christmas episode.
You never know. You never know. Do we have any more news?
Yes, of course we do.
We always have news.
Why would
we always have news. If we don't have news, we make news up.
Yes, we do. News,
So, yeah.
news. I love news. Come on, news. Load up news. Okay, what was your favourite pre-title sequence? Was it, well then, here we go again, deep breath. This is your patient, into the Dalek. No such thing as Robin Hood, Robot of Sherwood. It could be with us every second. We would not know. We would never know. Listen, I have agreed to this memory wipe of my own free will. Time heist. Most people just call me the Doctor, the caretaker. An innocent life versus the future of all mankind. Kill the moon. Start the clock. Mummy on the Orient Express. Are you being held against your will, sir? Flatline. Do you like the forest being in Trafalgar Square, in the forest of the night? I'm owed, Darkwater. Clara Oswald has never existed. I'm the Doctor. Death in Heaven. Or do you really believe in Santa Claus? Last Christmas.
I'll tell you what, actually, the quality of the pre-title clips were fantastic, weren't they?
They were lovely.
Pretty much all of those, I think, were really, really great.
Lovely. Kissy.
When we were talking about this the other day, I was immediately drawn to Mummy on the Orient Express, which I thought was a brilliant opening sequence. But then you started reminding me about Darkwater and Death in Heaven. And I thought, well, actually, Darkwater, because it had all that pre-sequence with the death of Danny and everything. It was a real shock. Mm-hmm. But actually, when you read them through again like that, I'm thinking maybe actually Death in Heaven. With its I am the Doctor line.
Do you think that one?
Yeah, I think so, actually. What do you think?
Yeah, that or Darkwater or Deep Breath.
Yeah.
Torn between the three.
Yeah.
I also love the Mummy on the Orient Express one.
Yeah.
But it's so hard, that whole...
Yeah, no, there was some really, really good pre-sequence ones. What have people got to say about it?
Do you want to read some?
Yeah, can do, yeah. What have we got? There really has been sequences this You remember watching Listens and being completely and utterly blown away.
Oh, I like the Listen one as well.
Can't choose between Listen, Mummy and Flatline. Deep Breath wins for me, for referencing the third and fourth Doctor regeneration scene and having a rather amazingly unnerving post-regenerative trauma. I might have said Mummy, but Last Christmas.
I mean, Deep Breath was the first scene with Peter Capaldi in the pre-title sequence, so that has to be high.
Yeah. I chose Last Christmas as it took an episode I was at first very hesitant about and got me excited for it, as well as having some very funny Nick Frostness. Mummy on the Orient Express, easily. It won this by far. It was creepy, tense, and downright scary. MOTOE.
Mummy
Very,
on the
very
Orient
creepy
Express.
starter for an episode. That's good. I was trying to quickly work that out in my head what that was. Listen, followed closely by Time Heist. This is really difficult for me. It's between Deep Breath, Robot of Sherwood, Listen, Kill the Moon, Dark Water, and Last Christmas. So pretty much every episode. I know that's pretty much all of them, how they said it themselves, but they were all amazing. Maybe even Death in Heaven, just because I thought for a moment that Clara might actually be the Doctor. Eventually, I decided on Dark Water, though Death in Heaven comes on at a close second. Surely it has to be Listen, such an incredibly original opening, and it gave me goosebumps. Dark Water, one of the best start to a two-parter, totally unexpected and excellently set up the episode for Clara's betrayal and redemption. I love to Start the Clock. Listen, for just because of the what are you going to do bit alone, but it was so original and it was refreshing. This is so hard. I love Mummy, Listen, The Caretaker, Into the Dalek, and of course Death in Heaven. However, there is a special place in my heart for Deep Breath, the dinosaur coughing up a blue box, the Paternoster gang, the new Doctor's mad first moments. It's just thrilling for me, and it never gets old. Start the clock. Actually, it just shows you. I mean, most people, I think, are commenting about how great all of these.
They were so good, this series.
I mean, the only one that's not really cropping up here is the In the Forest of the Night one, which just seems to mirror the fact that a lot of people didn't like it for whatever reason.
Has the Time Heist one come up?
Yeah, a few people have said Time Heist.
Caretaker?
Yeah, Caretaker's been up here.
Kill the Moon?
I got Kill the Moon a few times.
Flatline?
Yeah, Flatline a few times.
Into the Dalek?
Into Dalek, even that a few times.
Robot Sherwood?
Yeah, somebody had that near the beginning. So, yes, pretty much all of them, I think, really.
No, so no in the Forest of the Night.
No in the Forest of the Night. But I guess actually, as far as the openers were concerned, it probably was the weakest opener, I think.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
Just because, but just because, really. Something has to be. So,
Russell T Davies interested in writing a Doctor Who movie.
that's interesting.
Although Russell T Davies has seemingly ruled out returning to write another TV episode, he would be interested in penning a Doctor Who movie. Speaking on Radio 2, BBC Radio 2 this weekend, the former showrunner said, "I think it should be in the cinemas immediately. It would be glorious. Imagine queuing up in the cinema to see a Doctor Who film. Already have twice." Man. Asked if he could write it. Yes, please. If we could get lawyers and contracts flying now, you know I would do that because I think there's a big leap to be made.
It's an interesting one, that, isn't it? I mean, if they did go down the Doctor Who movie route, what would they do? Do you think? Would it be the same Doctor, or would they do like the movies before?
Well,
create their own one.
It was rumoured that they were going to do one which had like a different Doctor, but I don't think they would do that anymore because I just don't like it like that. I'd not watch it.
Yeah.
Because the you know in the Daleks Invasion of Earth films, the Dalek films with Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
They just seem wrong for me because the Doctor's human in that,
Yeah.
and Barbara is the Doctor's granddaughter as well as Susan. I mean, it's so terrible. It's a good film, but it's just so wrong.
I guess the thing is, it was just taken in isolation, wasn't it? It was meant to be a standalone film, really. I don't know. What would they do? Would they? I don't know. I'm not sure what they'd do. Whether they would go for. I think the thing is now it's so popular around the world. I think it would be difficult for them to make a film and not cast either a current or past actor. I mean, I think they could actually go back and say, do a Doctor Who film with Paul McGann, for instance.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say that it's got to be based now.
Yeah.
You know, they could. I mean, that would be a really good thing, wouldn't it?
I know. I'd really want that.
Who would, out of all the Doctors, if they were making a movie and they said, well, we're not going to do Capaldi because Capaldi's the current Doctor on the screen, which Doctor would you most want to see in the movie?
I'd say McGann because we haven't seen much of him.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to do a few series with the Figure Adventures with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think I'd go for McGann as well because, and particularly when you saw the in the Night of the Doctor movie, it immediately made you want to find out more about him, didn't it? Because he came across so well in that very short segment. And I think he was sold to death really with the movie, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's just a bit too OTT, I guess. Although we quite enjoyed what we watched of it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, we haven't finished watching that one yet, have we?
No.
Maybe we'll have to finish that one day.
Best TV story 2014. Was it Deep Breath into the Dalek Robot Show with Listen, Time Heist, The Caretaker, Kill the Moon, Mummy on the Orient Express, Flatline in the Forest of the Night, Dark Water, Death in Heaven, or Last Christmas?
I would have to vote for Listen, personally, there.
Listen.
Are you going for my vote, are you? Ooh.
Yeah, it's your Kindle.
Oh, okay. There we go. So, Listen it is. Be interesting to see what wins that one, actually. What would you have voted for instantly? I think I know.
I would have voted for Dark Water, Death in Heaven.
Yeah, I thought you would. I would actually. Well, I'm not going to go over too much old ground, but I think if you were going for best episode, I would have gone for Dark Water.
Yeah.
But best story, I would go for Listen.
Yeah.
Do we have other news, or are we going to do a few comments?
Comments.
Okay, you doing them?
Yeah, we're taking turns.
Okay.
This will doubtless be a controversial choice, but I'm going with The Caretaker. Had Death in Heaven lived up to immense promise demonstrated by Dark Water, the only other 5-star episode in Series 8, although Flatline and Last Christmas certainly claim within inches of reaching the same benchmark, with the latter only really falling short as a result of its cringeworthy sleigh riding sequence.
Which I love that bit. Actually.
I love
it's funny,
that
isn't it?
bit.
It just shows. But it's similar, isn't it? Because you don't like the bit in that episode with the dance.
No,
You said
I
you
hate
found
that
that bit
bit.
cringeworthy, but
And some people think that as well, but
I really like that bit, and I know a lot of people did really like that.
and a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that
So
was
it's-
kind of half and half as well as the sleigh scene. The sleigh scene was like half and half too.
Yeah.
I'm torn between Listen and Flatline, but the whole series was exceptional. Listen! Very hard choice, but I had to go with Flatline. Flatline hands down. Listen, but followed very closely by Mummy on the Orient Express and Dark Water, Death in Heaven. I don't know. Listen, without a doubt. Time Heist. Flatline, my favourite episode of the year. I have to take a deep breath before deciding. So many exceptional stories, but Last Christmas takes the cake with many, many close runs up. I will Flatline if it doesn't win. Strange to see that. Well, Dark Water came in at the top of the list for the Series 8 episode polls. Most people seem to be voting for Mummy on the Orient Express on this one.
Can you actually see then how people are voting?
No, that's an older poll.
Oh, right, okay, I see. Yeah, interesting. It just shows quite a mix. Again, no votes for In the Forest of the Night there, but
Was there any votes for Into the Dalek? I don't
think there was there? But I'd be surprised if many people thought Into the Dalek was the best episode.
Yeah. Tennant won't be returning anytime soon.
Hooray!
Why?
No, he's all right. He's just...
Anyone hoping for another 10th Doctor return in the near future, don't hold your breath. You're lucky. David Tennant has said he's unlikely to appear in Doctor Who again for a long while yet. I think you have to ration these things, he told Digital Spy when asked if he would like to reprise the role again alongside Capaldi's Doctor. He adds, "It's great fun for me to do an anniversary show, but it's probably got to be 10 years before that happens again, I think."
I would agree. I don't want to see him back in it again. Although I said hooray, that was a bit of a joke. It's just because I'm always going on about him being too foppish, which he is. But he's a likeable Doctor. He's some way down my list of favourites, certainly.
Yeah.
I would much rather see most of the other ones actually, to be honest. Yeah, I would much rather see certainly Paul McGann come back into it, or even though he's only one Doctor back, I'd rather see Matt Smith come back into it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I think out of all of them, again, for the same reason as the discussion about the movie that we had earlier, I'd probably go for Paul McGann again. He's the Doctor I'd most like to see in it, and I would really love to see more of McGann.
Best of 2014 awards, 14 Moffat series.
Okay.
Was it Series 5, 2010, Series 6, 2011, Series 7, 2012 to 13, or Series 8, 2014?
Easy one for me.
Series 8.
Series 8. I bet you most people are going to go for Series 5, though.
Okay.
Should we have a look?
Let's look.
I read through a few people's comments. So what have we got here? So I voted for Series 7, even though I know I'm in a tiny minority. But then I started thinking about Series 8, and then I thought maybe I picked too soon. I liked Series 7 because the first two times I watched Series 6, I disliked so much of it that in contrast, I ended up loving Series 7 more than I would have if I'd come, say, after Series 5. Then they talk a lot, so we'll skip on to that. Series 8, only because I rank every episode 10 out of 10. Series 5 is a close second. They've gone for 8, 5, 6, and 7.
I've rated 8. I'd probably rate it 8, 7, 6, 5.
Would you?
Or 8, 7, 5, 6. I don't know. 8, 7, 5, 6. I think I'm going to go for.
So this person's gone further. They've gone literally from the top, and they've said Series 8, then 1, 4, 5, 7, 3, 2, 6.
What is that? Top 8.
Yeah.
Oh.
Series 2, the first one with David Tennant, often comes quite low down, doesn't it?
So.
This person, Series 5's their favourite. Their least favourite, Series 8.
That's just so terrible. Oh, favourite and least favourite episodes.
Okay, this is, which we'll have a go at this one day, perhaps as a special on this podcast. But this person has said Series 5's their favourite. They liked the 11th Hour, or Vincent and the Doctor, and then Victory of the Daleks. So that's Victory of the Daleks, their least favourite. Series 7, Asylum of the Daleks, then Nightmare in Silver, least. Series 3, Blink, and then worst, Daleks in Manhattan, Evolution of the Daleks. Series 1, Father's Day, and then bottom, The Long Game. Series 2, The Girl in the Fireplace, bottom, Fear Her. Series 6, The Doctor's Wife, bottom, Curse of the Black Spot. Series 4, Turn Left, bottom, The Doctor's Daughter. Series 8, bottom again, Listen, and then bottom, The Caretaker. This person said their favourite series. How many of these do you want me to read through? I'll just go through one more lot. Yeah. They said Series 1 was their favourite, with Empty Child top, Long Game bottom. Series 4 second, with Planet of the U top, Midnight bottom. Boo, hiss, one of my favourites. Series 2 was next, with The Impossible Planet, and then Fear Her bottom. Fear Her bottom. Series 8, Flatline top, Robot Assured bottom. Series 7, The Snowmen top, Nightmare and Silver bottom. Series 3, Blink. Series 3, this low down? Madness. Blink top, Daleks in Manhattan bottom. Series 5, The Lodger top, Vampires of Venice bottom. Series 6, Good Man Goes to War, and then Let's Kill Hitler, bottom. Tom Baker, not the Tom Baker, unfortunately, said Series 5, then Series 8, then 6.
Do you want to stop there?
And one more, I think.
Okay.
They've gone for 2,
5,
5, 1,
1,
3,
3,
4,
4,
6,
6,
7,
7,
8.
8.
So I think the thing is, the interesting thing about it is that you see a real theme come through, really, I think, around
8, 7. At 6th place is Series 6. At 7th is Series 7. And 8th is Series 8.
I think that there's those that like the lighter-hearted, more family fun type series, and those that like the more challenging ones. And I think that is quite clear from reading through those. Personally, I think the Moffat run of series have been the best. Personally,
Yeah.
we'll have a go later on. It's difficult for me to do on the top of my head because I don't know the series as well as you, so I can never remember which episodes are in which one. But it'd be interesting to actually go through and have a go at doing that ourselves.
Yeah. I just want to look at something.
Yes.
It was Tom Baker's birthday this week.
It was. Happy birthday, Tom.
And also John Hurts.
John Hurts as well. Happy birthday, John. Two
Happy
great
birthday, Tom
actors.
and John.
Two of my favourite Doctors, actually. I mean, actually, the War Doctor is another one I'd like to see. But I think I'd probably like to see a cartoon of the War Doctor. Wouldn't that be quite cool?
I know.
Yeah.
Would the voice be John Hurt?
It'd probably be you, wouldn't it?
Okay. 5 favourites of the 4th Doctor. Now, was it... Yeah, some of them. Do you agree with this? Genesis of the Daleks?
Yep. That'd be up there.
I don't agree with this one for top 5. Pyramids of Mars.
Okay. Pretty good, but...
It's pretty good, but...
Yeah.
Talons of Weng-Chiang.
The best classic episode.
City of Death.
Can't remember it.
Logopolis.
I remember that really fondly as a child, yeah. Actually, we watched that again, didn't we? Yeah, I did still really enjoy that one, yeah. Yeah. What would you have? What would be in your top 5?
I did
Tom
do
Baker
one.
ones?
But
I think they were quite similar when we looked at them,
Talons,
weren't
Genesis, Deadly Assassin, Hand of Fear, and Robot.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Excellent.
So finally, the final category of the Best of 2014 awards.
Okay.
Peter, who was the best outstanding debut? Was it Peter Capaldi or Michelle Gomez?
Sorry, Michelle, you were very good, but you can't beat Mike Capaldi. You can't beat
What
him.
do you vote Peter Capaldi out of 10 then? Put on your board.
10. I'd give him a 10. I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was classic Doctor.
I'm sorry, one of you, but you can't beat my fave. You can't beat my Doctor. Missy, I'm sorry. Bye. Peter. Whoa. Vote.
Okay, there we have it. So that's all.
No, I
the
voted for
polls.
Michelle Gomez too.
She'll now win by 1 vote, and it'll be your fault.
Okay. Missy needed a superb introduction after all. As the first female incarnation of the Master, Moffat needed to make sure he nailed it. And he did, quite spectacularly. But as one of my favourite Doctors of all time, just from this 13-episode series, my vote goes to Capaldi. This would be Peter. Sorry, Missy. Missy hypnotised me into voting for her. It is an odd task. I don't feel Missy can not be really judged against earlier Masters. I feel it is even difficult to judge between the Deadly Assassin Master and the Sin Master, although I think RTD was referencing this with the Sim Skull Master. Voted for Pete Capaldi. He's fantastic as the Doctor. Going to have to give it to Capaldi, one of our finest Doctors ever. However, Michelle Gomez was excellent too. And finally, ask a website full of Whovians if they'd ask for a Doctor or for the Master. LMAO. Talk about a unprecedented end result.
There we go.
So
is that all of our news, or do we have more news?
that's all of our news, I think. But
Okay.
who do you think will win all these polls?
I think we'll find out possibly next week, I guess. Will we?
Yeah, we'll find out next week.
Be interesting to see. I think there's going to be. I think certainly when you get down to like people's favourite episodes, favourite writers, it's going to be fairly spread. I think Moffat will probably walk the favourite writer, but it'll be quite close between some of the others, I think.
Yeah.
Certainly best episode. Actually, I think best episode's up for the taking. I'm surprised how many people actually said Last Christmas as their favourite episode. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good, actually. But it surprised me how many people thought it was the best out of this whole series.
So next up, our opinion on New Who. Now, I'm gonna let the dabqualizer with that.
Rubbish. That's a joke.
Okay, press your button if you have anything to say.
Okay.
Yes,
I press my button.
it's on there.
It's on there. Okay. I'm pressing it. Right.
Be mean.
Okay. I think that New Who has grown and grown and grown. I think it came back with a bit of a bang with Christopher Eccleston. I think it won a whole load of new audiences, not only when it first came back there, but also I think actually probably David Tennant in particular drew in a lot of younger crowds.
Be mean. You don't like Christopher Eccleston, and you were saying he was good.
Shall I explain it?
Yeah.
I really like the episodes of Christopher Eccleston's.
Yeah.
I really like Christopher Eccleston and the way he did the Doctor, but I don't think of that character as being a Doctor-like character.
Okay.
So I thought he acted it well. It's not how I envisaged the Doctor.
So carry on if you want to chat about it.
I think it's just, to me, it's just one of these series that's got stronger and stronger, and I think it's got a very fine line balance between whether it's a children's program or an adults program, and I think the later time slots have been very good proof that it's probably nearer an adults program now than a children's one, really.
But do you mean if you voted every series, do you think as it gets further up, do you think it gets more and more like an adult series every series? Should we vote for most? Should we go through every series of New Who and say if it's a child series, or a adult series?
Okay.
So, series 1.
Series 1, I think, is a family series.
Family.
Yeah.
So would you say that's mainly children?
I think it's got a nudge towards adults more.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
Because it's coming back to you, isn't it? The people who were fans years ago remember, and it was just introducing to the kids as well.
Yeah, and the Doctor's a bit grittier.
The Doctor's a bit grittier. Why don't you just die?
What about series 2?
Series 2. Doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
Okay, so I'd say that's probably a more child series because that's not a very popular one because it's got Fear Her and everything.
I just think it's one. I think with the selection of David Tennant, they wanted to go for a younger audience. I don't think there's any way that they would have cast somebody like Capaldi at that time.
No.
And for a while it seemed like it was just the Doctors were getting younger and younger, and sooner or later you'd get the baby Doctor, as seen in Listen, actually having its own series.
Yeah.
What about series 3?
Doo-doo.
Jing.
Series 3 is more like it's more like I think mainly probably a adults because of the master and everything.
Which one is that? Is that the Martha one?
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's got
It's
adult
darker.
overtones. Yeah.
it's a bit darker.
Yeah.
That series.
And then I think when it then moved on to series 4.
Series 4. Doo-doo.
There's obviously some scary ones in there, isn't it? But I think
Like
that.
Midnight and
Mhm.
the Library.
But it definitely went for a more light-hearted
Companion?
companion, yeah, and the camaraderie between the Doctor and Donna is
So
a lot more
childish or adult?
more childish than the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Series 5. Doo-doo.
Is that the first one with Matt Smith?
Yeah.
Still, immediately, I think as soon as Moffat came over, it had more of an adult edge to it, but it's still the more family friendly of all the series,
Yeah.
I think.
Doo-doo. Series 6.
Series 6, can't remember what's in it. Is that the Silence one?
Yeah.
I think that was quite complicated, so nearer the adults, I'd say.
Series 7.
Series 7 actually had a lot more light-heartedness in it, I think.
Like Dinosaurs of the Spaceship,
Yeah,
Reigns
yeah.
of Akaten,
Yeah.
Nightmare in Silver,
Yeah.
Crimson Aura.
Yeah, so again, I think all the Moffat stuff's got a darker edge, but I think that was more light-hearted.
And Series 8. Adults.
I think the 9 o'clock showing says it all.
Not 9 o'clock. 8:30.
8:30. 8:30 o'clock, nearly 9 o'clock.
Nearly.
So, yeah, it was. Some of it was after the watershed. So there we have it.
What is your views? If you had to vote every series of New Who out of 10.
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Okay.
1.
8.
What?
8 out of 10.
9.
Okay.
2.
7.
8.
Okay.
3.
9.
9. 4.
7.
8. 5.
8.
8. 6.
8.
8. 7.
8.
9. 8.
10.
10.
Quite confusing, isn't it? That
Yeah,
probably
I
confused all our listeners there.
know. I know.
But there we have it. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what other people's views are later on.
What were yours?
And mine was certainly. I'm a bit biased on 8. I know a big chunk of people didn't like it, but I just thought it was fantastic.
I did.
I found it.
I went by the majority of my episodes for
Mhm.
each vote, and I'd say, counting them up, Series 2 is probably the least. Is at the bottom, but Series 8 is at the top.
Yeah. It's funny though, isn't it? Because you think a lot of people still look back and sort of really love Rose as a companion, but she was obviously the companion in the worst series of New Who.
I know. The worst.
What else we got to talk about on this subject matter?
Do we need to chat about anything else? What about series by series monsters?
Series by series monsters.
Series 1.
Best monster?
Best monster and out of 10.
Best monster, Empty Child.
Best monster is Empty Child, yeah. Out of 10?
9.
Yeah, 9. Series 2.
Series 2. Struggling to think what's in it now. Can't remember.
Either Clockwork Robots or Krillitanes.
Yeah, I'll go for
Or the
I'll
Beast.
go for the Clockwork ones. I think. Yeah, I'll go for the Clockwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robots. 3.
3. Which one's that? That's the Blink one, then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall I go for the Weeping Angels,
I don't know.
or shall I go for the Family of Blood and the Scarecrow? I might just go for them just because they're
'Cause they're
only in it
only in it
once.
once.
And they were cool. I like them.
And Series 4?
Series 4. Oh dear, my brain hurts. I can't think.
I'm going to try and think. All I
I think which one's Donna was in now. I can't remember.
Rastronada.
Yeah, actually, okay for those. I've not seen that episode, but they just look cool.
Yeah, they do look cool.
Yeah.
Series 5.
Series 5. What do you think I might go for? What's the name of the baddies in the first one again? With Matt
What,
Smith.
Prisoner Zero?
Yeah, Prisoner Zero. I might go Prisoner Zero.
I like the Smilers.
Yeah. Okay. Next series.
Series 6.
Is that the one with the
Silence.
silence in? I'm going to go for the silence.
Yeah, the silence. Silence will fall when the question is asked. Series 7.
So 7. Some great episodes in that. I might go for the Gunslinger just because he looked cool.
Whisperman.
Yeah, that's a good call actually. Yeah, I'll go with the Whisperman as well, I think.
Series 8. Best looking monster is the Teller, but the best idea for a monster is probably the Foretold.
Yeah, I'd go for the Foretold. Yeah.
If you were saying idea,
Mhm.
but if you were saying look, then I'd say
Oh yeah.
Teller.
But actually, also, I think the idea for the Teller is really good as well. Actually.
Yeah, I did too.
But I really like the Foretold. I thought it was fantastic. Anyway.
That was the one I'd probably vote for because of its idea. But if I had to go with design, it's one of the most iconic designs.
I would suggest that I think it's quite interesting when you read the comments that even the people that don't like the Series 8, and as we said, there are some that don't, they still, the majority of those seem to like Mummy on the Orient Express. It seemed to be a real crossover episode, didn't it?
Yeah.
And because it had a lot of old Who-ness about it as well.
Yeah.
Classic Who-ness about it. Yeah.
Is that it?
I think that's it for that item, isn't it?
Dalek?
So last week we pressed the randomizer, which is our Excel list of every episode that has ever been made of Doctor Who. We press the button, whatever it comes up with, we look at. If it's one that isn't available, then obviously we can't watch it. But if it is available and it's not one we've watched recently, then we watch it and then we review it the next week. So
Yes.
Dalek.
First, it's iconic because it's the first story of New Who with the Daleks.
It is, yeah. And obviously the Doctor himself is very surprised and in fact petrified when he first meets the Dalek again because he thought they were all wiped out.
Yeah, he thought both of the races was wiped out from existence.
Yeah, it's my views on this one. And so basically, there's a bit of background on it. It's from the first series of the Return of New Who. So Christopher Eccleston.
Episode 6 of series 1.
Yeah. So Christopher Eccleston one. He basically gets this call to check out what looks like a museum of space
the Cybermen
artifacts,
Daleks and Slitheen's.
Yeah. By this guy that actually runs the whole of the internet, and he's just basically got this sort of macabre exhibition of monsters and things, and he wants to find out about it all. One of the things they've got there is this Dalek, and they're torturing this Dalek, basically, aren't they, trying to understand it? It gets released and starts killing everybody. But because the reason he got released was because
Staten.
Rose
touched
it, didn't it?
But yeah, it's sort of Staten's fault that he got the Dalek for the exhibition.
Yeah, but it sort of basically from Rose's DNA learns a bit of compassion.
Yeah,
and I think that's the integral part of it. So a lot of it is based around the fact that it's the last Dalek and it's the last Time Lord, but then also the fact that there's a Dalek. First time really we've ever seen a Dalek showing any signs of compassion. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I thought it was good because I like the ratings. So, what would you say in episode terms?
I think, do you know, if I was thinking about it through this episode. I really like it.
I do.
I think I prefer the first half of it to the second half. I think it gets a
Yeah.
bit sentimental,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think about where I would place it so far in the list that we've got, and I don't think
It comes third, I think.
it's certainly not above Hand of Fear.
What does it beat Let's Kill Hitler?
Yeah, I think it's probably because the first
It
half is so
comes
strong.
third.
I think it's probably above Let's Kill Hitler.
It's
but
third.
below
What
what was last week? Planet of the Ood.
Planet of the Ood, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's below Hand of Fear,
Yeah.
which is first.
So I think that I think if it had kept up the pace of what it has in the first half, it might have overtaken Planet of the Ood. But as I say, it just gets a little bit sentimental, I think.
So, what do you rate it out of 10?
I'm going to give it an 8, I think.
I'm going to give it a 8 or a 9. An
Mhm.
8.5, I think.
Excellent.
Character development?
Character development. Well, I think it's quite interesting the fact that you see the Doctor physically scared.
Yeah.
And you don't really see the Doctor that scared that often. Patrick Troughton's Doctor used to get scared quite often, I guess. But you didn't very often see them basically sort of shaking. And he was shaking, wasn't he, when he saw the Dalek or heard the Dalek voice. He's very, very upset when he thinks that Rose has been exterminated.
Yeah.
So I think it shows a very compassionate Doctor, actually. Although
Yeah.
he's quite a gritty Doctor, he's quite a compassionate one.
So, out of 10?
For
Character development.
character development, sorry.
That's what I was looking for.
I'm going to go for a 7.
Monster?
Monster. It's Dalek, isn't it?
First New Who? Dalek.
First New Dalek. But it's still a Dalek, and
I'll get further.
yeah, that's right.
Like the Cybermen.
Yeah. And so I'm going to go there.
I prefer the Cybermen than the Daleks.
I do as well. I'm going to go for an 8, though, I think, for the monster, because it is a Dalek,
Yeah.
and I imagine, it's the first time a Dalek had come back onto the screen for years.
Yeah.
So for that alone, I think we'll give it an 8.
And finally, excitement.
Excitement, first half, I think, is really exciting. I think I might give it a 9, actually. For excitement. Yeah.
Because of the first half.
Yeah, brilliant. So are we going to, so on that note, we know where we place it. Are we going to
randomizer.
press the button for the randomizer?
Yeah.
Okay, let's.
Ready? Oh, pardon me.
There we go. Let's press the randomizer. Okay.
Oh,
That's a good one, actually.
that's a good one.
So we better tell people what it is then.
It says the two doctors. I just need to write it in my little sheet to remind me.
So yeah, 2 doctors. So that's a Colin Baker era 1.
So
Also
let's look.
featuring
We have
Patrick Troughton.
not done a William Hartnell one. We
Mhm.
have not done a Patrick Troughton one.
Mhm.
We have not done a John Pertwee one. We have done a Tom Baker one.
Yeah.
We have not done a Peter Davidson one. We now are going to do a Colin Baker one. We have not done a Sylvester McCoy, a Paul McGann. We've done a Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, and Matt Smith. 5 doctors.
Okay, there we go. There we have it. I'm looking forward for that. That's good.
Yeah.
I will look forward to that
It's 3 45-minute parts, though.
one. Okay,
So
we have to work out how we're
Will
going to
we
watch that.
be able to?
Mhm.
we might have to watch 2 parts. 1 part on Wednesday,
Yeah,
second part next Saturday, and then third part on the following Wednesday.
yeah. It might be one where we perhaps next week perhaps we'll give a review of it the week after next.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Or we might give part 1 and 2's review
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
Tasty, yummy, yummy. Oh, I like 2 doctors. I'm looking forward for that one.
I do.
Okay.
So, should we move on to quiz or question?
Before we do, because I've got to quickly pop over and do something over there in the food area, why don't you just give a quick update on the news from your website?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So basically, if you want to go on the website, then you can see there's recently been 1010. which is a thing which we do, which I've done for a few weeks, but it basically has gone on for 28 days so far. But what we do is we look at every single episode of New Who and look at what we'd rate it out of 10. So it isn't every episode of classic Doctor Who, but it is every episode of New Who. So, and also when Series 9 finishes, we'll look at it, but it won't be compared to the others. So that's what I'm going to do when I do it. How long will you be, Daddy Cool?
About a minute.
Okay, should I do the quiz or question theme too?
Yeah, I thought you should just ask a little bit. Just tell me where we're at with the filming of the first episode.
Well, we finished filming this first episode of the new series and editing it. All we've got to do is add the music in and the theme tune, but we need to watch the whole thing through today to check it's good.
Good stuff.
Do 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 do. Quiz or question. Series 8 and Last Christmas Special. Part 1.
That's a professional theme tune you have running there.
Yeah.
Okay. Quiz or question. You better explain what quiz or question means for those that have forgotten.
A quiz is where we sort of get asked something like, say, something like, what was the name of the bad guy in Army of Ghosts or something?
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy, but I just know.
Yeah.
But
There's a right or wrong answer to
yeah.
it. Yeah.
What's the question?
A question is when somebody poses something to us and we give our opinion on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There we have it. Do we have any quizzes or questions from people? Are there things that people want to know?
First of all, we've got which incarnation... well, just to say, it's a Series 8 and Last Christmas Special. We're going to do 2 because we've got so many questions from Series 8.
Okay.
And if we even have some remainders, we might do a third one.
Okay, that sounds
but,
good.
If we run short of questions in the future,
Okay.
we'll think of some for the future. But, okay, so who's the child doctor in Listen and what incarnation was it?
Okay, so is that
quiz
a
or
a
question?
What do you think?
I'd say it's a question.
I think so, yeah.
Question.
But if we were talking a quiz, the answer would be it was Tommy Smith from Islington,
Ooh!
who would grow up to be a nice, fine, big, bouncing boy.
Called the Doctor.
No, I don't know. I'm being sensible again now. What do you think? Who was the child doctor?
Well, I think it was the first incarnation. But do you think another thing? Do you think it was on Earth, or do you think it was on Gallifrey or any other planet?
I wonder whether it's actually on a different planet.
Yeah.
Actually, completely. Maybe he was smuggled away to a different planet
Yeah.
for safety.
Yeah.
What I'm not sure about, and you'll probably correct me, so I'm going back into the quiz territory here, because we do often skip off the point, don't we?
Yeah.
has-
That's what podcasts do.
They do, yes.
Yeah. But
Has the Doctor himself ever clarified what number Doctor he is? How many incarnations he's had?
Matt Smith has.
So I was just wondering, are we that certain that William Hartnell was the first Doctor? That was the first incarnation of him?
I don't know. Because I don't know if it is after this child doctor.
Yeah. But I mean, what is quite obvious, I guess, is that assuming it is, and actually, no, I think he must be. or at least he's certainly the first one since he started travelling around, because we saw him take the TARDIS.
Yeah.
So we know that the William Hartnell incarnation was the one that took the TARDIS. But maybe at that stage he became the Doctor. Maybe before that he was John Smith or whatever name he wanted to go under. Yeah.
What's the name he likes to be called? I forgot now. But okay, so how was Orson born if Danny died is the next one?
I think that's also a question, isn't it?
Question. I think we've got a lot of questions first.
Yeah, we usually do, don't we? Because
Yeah.
well, and I like them best. In fact, I'd be quite happy if this segment was just called Question. I still believe that Clara is pregnant.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think she might have married one of Orson's like brothers or something. Danny's brothers, and then had Orson's mum or grandparents or whatever.
I guess, I mean, one of the other solutions could be that Orson is cloned off of the DNA of Clara, and glad I didn't give that away. Glad you've told people what the name of the next series is, because I would have totally given that away again.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it could be the DNA of Clara and Danny. Maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe Clara isn't pregnant.
Yeah.
Any other views for you on that one?
Not really. Other than the thing I said.
Yeah.
But I agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be similar. I think we will find out. I'm pretty sure that will not be left hanging. It will be left hanging for some time, I'd imagine.
I think the final Peter Capaldi episode will find out.
Yeah. It'll probably be a Christmas episode that's got far too much stuff crammed in it again.
Okay, so did the half-faced man really jump?
Did he really jump?
Is that a quiz or question?
It's, again, we don't know the answer. It was never revealed, so it has to be a question.
Dun-dun-dun.
Personally, I believe he jumped.
I believe he jumped to get into the promised land.
Because I think actually the Doctor, although he was questioning throughout the whole of the series, was he a good man? I have to say that every episode, if you notice that.
I know.
I would suggest that by the end of it, he found out that he was a good man, and therefore, I don't think there was ever any doubt. Really, I don't think he would have pushed somebody.
No.
I think he persuaded him to jump, or he fell. Maybe he just fell. Maybe that's it.
I'm on the edge. Ah! No, Missy comes along. Do, hello. Do, darling.
Push him off. Have we got any other thoughts on that? What do you believe? You believe he?
I believe he jumped
Yeah?
to get into the promised land.
Yes.
Promised land.
Do we have further questions or quizzes?
Is there such thing as a good Dalek?
Well,
That's a question.
I think it's a quiz actually, but I believe we can have a view on it as well.
So should I press the middle button?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think the actual answer is no. There isn't
No.
such a thing as a good Dalek.
It's just a malfunction
But yeah,
that Rusty had.
that's it. Or effectively a malfunction in Dalek that we watched today because of the DNA. But strictly speaking, no, there is no such thing as good Dalek.
No.
Interesting. I think the problem with the Daleks is, as we've said on a number of times during the podcast today and in previous episodes,
They've been used too much.
they have been used too much. And I think it's brilliant. I think Into the Dalek was a great episode because it managed to...
And so is Asylum.
Yeah. They both brought a fresh edge to it. But I don't really want to keep exploring the Are the Daleks good? Because I think it undermines how evil the Daleks are.
Yeah.
And I say we knew who. We've touched on it twice, really, haven't we? We've touched on it with Dalek, and we've touched on it with Into the Dalek.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch on it again. I think
No.
next time when we see the Daleks, I hope it can keep up the originality that they've done the last 2 times. But I want it to be really evil Dalek,
Yeah. Me too.
totally evil. Perhaps the most evil Dalek we've ever seen.
Next question. Oh yeah, it could be called the evilest Dalek.
The worst Dalek ever.
In comic book guy could be narrating it. Okay, lights on or lights off?
Okay, so that's referring to
Kill
Kill the Moon.
Quiz a question.
I would say that's a question because it's a viewpoint. What happened again? I can't remember now. So if it's what was the vote for? Lights on meant
To let the creature live, wasn't it?
yeah.
And lights off was to let the creature die.
I think the
I
right
was
answer-
worrying in that episode because they were turning the lights off.
I personally believe
It's hard, isn't it?
the right thing to do would be to leave the lights on, to let the monster live. I got that the right way around. Yeah. But what would I do in reality if I believed that the human race was threatened? I'd probably turn the lights off.
Yeah.
So it turned out to have been the wrong thing, but it's only the wrong thing because we know what happened in the episode. If everybody had done it and the episode had ended differently, we'd assume that was the right thing to have done.
Yeah.
So there we have it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they should do an alternative ending.
Kill the Moon.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh no, it was good after all. And it's too late. It's dead. Look what you've done, woman. You've killed it. And you people of Earth, you've killed it.
And then it came shooting down.
So yeah, there we have it.
Final question.
The final question.
If you were in charge of the Mummy on the Orient Express, who in all of Series 8 and Last Christmas would you kill? Is that a quiz or question?
That's a question again.
The question.
So this is basically another way of saying who was the most annoying character in Series 8. isn't
No,
it?
but in a not rude way.
Who was the most
And Last
annoying
Christmas.
character? I've got to think my way through this one. So think through all of.
Gretchen was rather annoying. Shauna was quite annoying. But not
I like
really annoying.
Shauna.
I know.
like her.
I
don't
like
think
her, but
Gretchen
she was
It
annoying.
Gretchen. She was
The
Gretchen.
one from Into the Dalek that went to heaven.
Oh yeah.
Robin Hood. No.
Did I find anyone annoying in this series? There's probably people in the various series that I would have actually said set the mummy on them.
Or who deserved the mummy the most?
Well, that's true. You could go for the who deserved it the most.
Missy.
Yeah, set Missy on. Yeah, then you know, any sort of time lords that you set the mummy on, would they still regenerate after they've actually been killed by the mummy? Would they regenerate into another one?
A mummy.
And
Or would regenerate into the mummy. And then there's two. Imagine if there were two mummies and it made like 33 seconds instead.
Yeah.
They
was-
were both coming.
I'm just desperately trying to think who's the most annoying character in it, and I'm really struggling on it.
I am.
Is there anyone that?
It's annoying me.
Well, I know. I'll tell you what I'm going to go for,
Oh,
and this might not be a popular choice, but the human in the gang, the woman,
Jenny.
Jenny.
Yeah, she's all right. Yeah.
She's
I wouldn't
alright,
say she's
but-
the baddest in the series.
No,
though.
but she's probably the most annoying. I'm not saying she's
I
really
wouldn't
annoying,
say
but
she was the annoyingest in the series either.
yeah, it's most annoying.
No, Gretchen is.
Yeah.
I'd just say that.
Yeah, I'm going to
Don't
set.
know
I'm going
who
to set it on
else.
her.
Mummy, go after
Yeah.
Jenny and did that. If Missy's became one, set it after set it after Gretchen.
I'm going to send the mummy off to series 4, and Donna's going to get it.
I'm going to send it off to Series 7 so Tasha Lem can get it.
I like Tasha Lem. I'm not going to let Tasha Lem get mummified. You can go and get Donna. Well, that's our thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Who would you most like to set the mummy on? Either in Doctor Who, Series 8, or otherwise, or of course in real life. There we have
Your
it.
friend that's annoyed you. Okay.
That's it, is it?
Yeah.
That's just done. What we got on the show next week? We don't know yet, haven't we?
No, we haven't thought of. We could chat about Daleks and New Who.
We're definitely gonna. Well, I'll tell you what. I've got a big good theme.
What?
Where can we take the Daleks?
Yeah.
How about that? As a,
Where
as
can
a
we
theme?
take? Wait.
You're gonna write that down now, aren't you? On the log?
Mm.
Yeah, that would be an interesting discussion, I think. Where perhaps we should extend it, not just the Daleks. Where can we take the Daleks and the Cybermen? Because they're probably the two biggest baddies that are a bit overused. Where and when? So it's
Where-
another way of saying
so
where and when.
Could we?
Because I think the other interesting thing would be when will we next see them again? Because there's always an expectation that certainly the Daleks you're going to see every season, aren't there? But who knows? Aside from that, we'll be having our usual array of news.
And we'll be
views.
talking about in our final Series 8 and Last Christmas Quiz or Question, and also we'll be looking at the results for the 2014 awards.
We will. We soon. We'll also possibly be talking a little bit about the two Doctors. Depends on who we
First two
decide
parts,
or not.
maybe.
Yeah, we'll see how we get on there.
Yeah.
So who knows? We'll just tune in. We'll be talking basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, just come and listen to us chat. Come and join in a bit. Have a cup of tea.
Come to our house.
Yeah. Yeah, you can come and sit here as well if you like.
And be our special guest.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much for listening, everyone.
Thank you. I hope you have a nice day.
Yeah,